Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. I have a Transformers Titans Return review for you today that I'm very excited about. This is the Chaos on Velocitron box set. As far as I know, this is a Toys R Us exclusive right now. I don't know if that's going to change in the future, but I did find it today at Toys R Us. Basically, it's a box set of 5 figures. You get 1 Leader class, 1 Voyager, 1 Deluxe, 1 Legends class, and 1 Titans Return Titan Master. It's just the Titan Master by itself. It doesn't come with a little vehicle weapon contraption or anything like that. But basically, you get the 6-shot mold repainted as the Autobot Quick Switch. You get the Optimus Prime / probably future Octane mold redone and repainted as G2 Laser Prime. You get the Blur mold repainted and remolded as Nautica, the Autobot Nautica, which I'm not too familiar with, but from people who have read the comics, apparently she's pretty prominent in the comics, so that's pretty neat. And then you have one of the Autobot twins, Fastlane, which I believe is a brand new mold. And then you have a Titan Master very nicely repainted of Rodimus. I believe it's supposed to be Rodimus Prime, whereas the Deluxe was Hot Rod, so this is kind of a little bit nicer repaint. They're calling it Rodimus Prime. So this is a pretty big box set. You can see here it is, Rodimus Prime. Oh, Fastclash, I'm sorry. I believe the G1 name was Fastlane, but maybe they lost the rights to that. Nautica, Laser Prime, Quick Switch. So there you go for that. Those are the 5 that you get. This does retail for about $99.99, so about $100. And then taking a look here on the back, you can see all the figures you get. I'm kind of excited because this is the first time I'm getting this mold, and of course this mold. And then this is just a pretty heavy retool, but really excited for this set because I don't have these 2 yet. I definitely passed on the Optimus because I knew I was going to be getting this set and I didn't need 2. And the Laser Prime repaint looks pretty awesome. But reading the little bio up here, it says, immeasurable power awaits on Velocitron, where the fastest bots in the universe race for the ultimate prize. Temporary domination over the power of speed to control as one desires. I don't know. As far as I remember, Velocitron was from Galaxy Force / Cybertron, when they had to kind of planet hop and find the different power chips, or I'm going to blank on what those are called, but there were different powers they had to get, and Velocitron was a planet where they did was race all the time. So I don't know if this really has any bearing on what they're doing in the comics or not, because again, I'm behind. It could just be, hey, let's put all these cars together in a box set and pull this term from our backlog of our back, fiction, just to sell the set. Either way, I'm fine with it because it looks like a nice box set. But that's pretty much it for the packaging here. Really nice art on the front, though. I just want to show that off again because it's pretty cool. I like that a lot. But let's go ahead. We'll jump into the box, and I guess I'll start with the biggest guy we have, which is Quick Switch. So real quick before we get to Quick Switch, I did want to show off this stuff that comes inside. Normally you get a little card. So this is just another group shot pick on the card, like the art from the front of the box. Nothing there on the back. But then you get this kind of larger poster. It's a little bit flimsier than the card stock, but it's still pretty nice and durable. So if this is something you want to pop in like a cheap frame or something, you could easily do that. I think it's really nice artwork. It really looks really good. And then on the back here, you get all the tech specs. So I'll see if I can... I think it's funny that Rodimus Prime has the biggest dialogue box. He's by far the smallest figure you get in the box. But there's Rodimus Prime. If you want to read these, you can pause them. I'm just going to kind of go through these quick in the sake of time here. Here's Laser Prime. Here's Fastclash and Nautica. And then here's Quick Switch. So it's just kind of a nice, big poster, pretty durable stock that this is made of. It's not like poster material. It's definitely a little bit thicker than that, so it should hold up. But all in all, pretty nice. I just wanted to show that off because that is included in the box. Alright, so first up we have Quick Switch. Obviously he is the biggest in the box. He is the leader class figure. All of these come packed in their vehicle modes, which I guess makes sense because it's Velocitron and they're, driving around fast. Here is the Titan Master. Pretty nicely detailed there. The chest plate there kind of reminds me of Thunderwing, so I don't know if this is the Headmaster body from Shadow Black Shadow or Shadow Spike, the pre-tool of Overlord. I'm blanking on his name right now, but when you transform him, really nice bright yellow there. I like that a lot. You can see the nice blue of his eyes, although I feel like because his brow is kind of so pronounced, they kind of get sunken in there a little bit. But the colors are all really nice. Really nice detail there. I like that a lot. So this is the car mode. Like I said, this is how he comes packaged. So I'm going to show this off first. Obviously, the Titan Master can sit in here. Just got to move the arms up a little bit. He sits right inside. Very nice. He can even have a second one. So I'll just bring in Rodimus real quick. Get a little preview of him before I officially show him off. You can have two guys ride. I think that's kind of funny that you can sit two in there. I appreciate that. But then just kind of putting him off to the side. This is the car mode. Very simple. This is how you'll get them in the packaging. Obviously, you have 4 wheels. You can fold these in or out. That's up to you. I think they just do this to give the car a little bit, so it's not just a complete flat edge, which I understand. Because from an aerial view, it's kind of a weird looking car. And you can kind of see the head of the wolf there, unfortunately. But what are you going to do? Like I said, this is my first exposure to this mold. I have not been able to find 6-shot yet. I will probably still pick him up if I can find him eventually, which I'm sure I probably will eventually, but yeah, so that's it. Now I'm going to go in the same order as the directions, just for simplicity's sake. And I'm going to try to remember how to do this. Like I said, please bear with me. I want to make sure I get this right for you guys. So I'm going to kind of consult the directions a little bit as I go. Alright, so they go from the car mode to the wolf mode, so we'll do that. Go ahead and pull off the guns. You can see right here that this is just going to fold down, and that's pretty much your wolf head right there. You're going to unfold these wing pieces, and you can kind of lift them up a little bit if you'd like. Then you're going to bring, you can unpeg these. These actually peg into the side here, which is kind of nice. There's a tab right here where my thumb is, and there was a little peg hole right here. So they were pegged in, so you're going to want to unpeg those, and then you can bring this forward. You can see that there's a double joint here and here, and this is going to come into play a lot. So you're going to bring this forward, and then you can rotate these down, and you can rotate this, put the wheel in the back. Now again, with any of these, it's really up to you. The directions do have a suggestion of how you should rotate that top section, but if you think one way looks better than another, you can. This just completely swivels around 360, so you can do that however you like. You're going to fold down these wings, or I'm sorry, claws. You can push this in if you like, so that way you have kind of a more realistic looking leg length. Try to say that 5 times fast. Taking a quick look at the head of the wolf. I like it a lot. The red looks good. The yellow eyes look good. You can open up the mouth there. Very nice. So I appreciate that. Coming along to the back, you're going to split this whole section. And it's a little tough because you have a lot of things. Like you can see these pieces here. They kind of sandwich together as well. I kind of like to open them up because it just makes it a little bit easier, and then you can put it right back. You're going to fold this down, and this is like a double hinge as a way to kind of like accordion that out and then push it down like that. And then you're going to fold these pieces out because these will be the front, or I should say the back paws. Rotate these around like this, and then this joint will just pop in through here. And let me pan out here. So you can see the wolf is kind of taking shape. You can take these 2 guns, and I should have showed these off earlier. These are his 2 guns. You can peg them together, just like that. Some modes have it pegged together, other modes don't. Obviously, you can see there's 2 pegs in there, so if you wanted to put the Titan Master in there, obviously he can stand in there. Very simple. But these 2 peg holes right here are going to peg into these 2 pegs right here, and this is going to form the tail of the wolf. So I think that's kind of neat. So this is our wolf mode. And again, if you, like I said, if you want to rotate this back because you think this looks a little bit better, that's completely up to you. I think officially the directions have the wheels on the outside. they have it like this. But again, I kind of like it better like this. It's just my preference. So I'm going to keep it like that. But again, however you'd like that. So that is your wolf mode. Not bad. I think it looks pretty good. I definitely like the wolf head. This has a tail, I think kind of works in a strange way. You can kind of try to play with this to get these a little bit more flat if you'd like to get that. And you could extend these back out again if you want. If you want to have them stand with a little bit longer front paws. Again, there's a certain amount of customization to this that you can play with it a little bit. Alright, next up, I believe they have us going to the submarine mode. So let's check that out. Alright, so going from the wolf mode, you're going to unplug the gun. You're going to put the wolf head straight up like that. And then you're going to put these up straight up like this. I really wish there was a way that the wings could peg. And you even have those two tabs on the side of the wolf head. And it really seems like they should tab into these tabs here. But I can't really line it up. I feel like it's supposed to do that. The directions don't really state that. Can I get this? Are they even at the right angle? I feel like they really are at the right angle. I'm going to play with this for a minute and see if I can get this to go. No, I'm not going to break it. It really seems like it's supposed to, but it just can't do it. So you just kind of leave it up like that. You're going to bring these down. You're going to fold these parts out. Fold these other feet back in. Put these together. And this doesn't stay together fantastically, but that is what you're supposed to do. And then you can see there's two long tabs here. They're going to go into these long tab slots right there. So that's kind of an extra way to get this to stay together, which is kind of nice. And plus it gives you extra firepower here on the front. Now you're kind of almost done. You're going to rotate these in, fold this back along here, fold this in, and then you just come to the back, fold these back in, and then I believe you will rotate these around, I think just like this. To be honest, it really doesn't matter because they're just going to hang off the back like this. So this is what they're calling the submarine mode. But for most G1 fans, you might recognize that turning this 180 degrees resembles one of Six Shot's original forms. Which I guess they're just hesitant to call it that anymore because that's, you know, kind of taboo to make toys shaped like that anymore. But I think you guys can read in between the lines and figure out what this is. Alright, so from here the directions have us go into the robot mode, which I think is the easiest and definitely the most intuitive to figure out. Take the gun off, obviously. You're going to pop these legs apart, which shouldn't take a whole lot. Rotate these around. You're going to fold these back to form heels. You're going to fold these down to form toes. And then as you can see, the legs are pretty much done. So I'm going to pan up a little bit here. You can pretty much just open these up a little bit to push this all the way back down. And then you're going to want to put these like this and then put the wings straight up. Take the arms, rotate them down. I think the directions have it like this, but I like it better like that. Again, just personal preference. My personal preference for the robot mode. Bring this around so you get your elbow joint. Pop your fist out. Repeat over here. And then just push these all the way up. Again, if you want to leave them out a little bit because you think it's going to give you more articulation or something, personal preference, but this is what the directions have. At this point, you're going to bring this whole chest section down like this. You're going to fold out these little wings. You're going to rotate this up. And then as you do, you're going to spin the helmet around 180 degrees. And then close this back up. And then as you can see, this is our robot mode, but we're missing a head. So take the head, transform it, lift up this top part of the helmet. He slides right in, and then close the helmet. And there you go. Now again, you have a really pronounced brow, so it really cuts off his eyes. If you want, you can lift it up just a little bit so you can see the eyes a little bit better. You can give him these weapons if you like. Pop these in his hands. They peg right in. And there you go. There's your robot mode for Quick Switch. I think he looks great. There is an Autobot symbol in there. It's a little difficult to see just because of how it's just the foil sticker, but it is in there. Articulation-wise, the head can spin, as you saw, so you can look right to left. I like to kind of lift that up a little bit just so you can see the eyes. You have this swivel here in the shoulder as well as up and down. You have elbows 90 degree, plus you can swivel it from side to side. Fists do not move. I do not believe there's any waist articulation. No, there's not. You can lift these skirts up though, so you can get a nice tight ratchet in the hip. Out to the side is a little bit looser, but front to back is nice and tight. You have 90 degrees in the knee, and then not really anything in the foot, but pretty good articulation. And I think it makes sense because of how many modes and everything he has to go to. The level of articulation, I think, is pretty good. So, I like it a lot. I like this robot mode. Whoop. That's my fault. See, the one problem is because the joints here have to go both ways, it is possible that he could fall forward. And that's just necessary for his transformation. So, you just kind of have to keep an eye on that. But overall, I like this robot mode. I love the color scheme. It's definitely the same as the G1 Quick Switch with the kind of seafoam green, kind of reddish orange color, kind of a burnt red color, and then of course the white and a little bit of yellow accents. So I think it's great. It's really indicative of the original Quick Switch, which was of course itself a repaint. Or actually no, Quick Switch was different. Quick Switch was a different mold. I'm thinking of something. Quick Switch was a slightly different mold, but he was also a six changer. And then in Japan, they repainted Quick Switch back to Six Shot's coloring and called him Six Knight, and he appeared in Master Force. That's what I'm thinking of. So we've kind of done the opposite here. We've repainted Six Shot as Quick Switch instead of repainting Quick Switch as Six Knight. It's all circular. Anyway, very cool robot mode. I like it a lot. Alright, so next up we're going to show tank mode. I've gone ahead and removed the guns and the Titan Master. You're going to open this up. You're going to fold up these wings. You're going to rotate the head around, and then you're going to fold that back in, and then close that up. At this point, you're going to fold the fists back in, and then I think you're going to want to extend the arms down. You're going to bring this like this. Fold the wings out of the way for the moment. You're going to spin these around so that the wheels are on the bottom. You're going to come to the treads, and they're actually going to swivel around to the front. Just like that. And then you're going to rotate these around so that all the treads line up when you're looking at it from the side. So that's going to be like that. You're going to flip the gun parts out while folding the feet back in. And then you're going to rotate these up. And you'll kind of hear them like lightly click in place. Bring these down to the side. They will click in place. These will just kind of rotate up. They do not sandwich together. You just kind of have to like find the right look for them by adjusting like the ratchets. That's not right. That goes down. There we go. And then you're just going to fold these wings back. Oops, I realize you can't really see what I'm doing. I apologize. Let me fix that. So the wings were out to the side like this. You're just going to rotate them in the back like that and do that on both sides. So this is your tank mode. You can take the guns, and there is a little tab right here. And there's a tab slot on the sides of each gun right there. So you're just going to tab that on and tab this one on. And then here is your tank mode. I think it works. It's very simplistic, but I think it works. You have some consistent treads on the side here, which look pretty good. You have a decent amount of firepower here with like these 4 guns and the 2 large barrel guns here on the front. Plus I like the cab here. You can lift this up and fit your Titan Master inside. I have to remember how this works because you kind of have to like lay him down like that to get him to fit. Like he's riding a light cycle or something. But he works. So yeah, it's kind of a basic tank mode, but I like it. I didn't think I was going to at first, but it's definitely grown on me. I wish these snapped in place, but it's not that big a problem. So yeah, not a bad little tank mode. Alright, so the last of his 6 modes is the plane mode. Basically what you're going to do, you can bring these wings back out and just kind of leave them here for now. You're going to bring this back down and straighten out this whole section. Rotate these in. Just get the arms out of the way for now. You can just kind of... Here, I'll rotate these up just so you can get everything out of the way for now. These are going to collapse back in. So straighten that. Rotate this. These will collapse in like that. And then these will sandwich back together. You're going to fold these in like that. You're going to rotate this around and rotate these 180 degrees. The very end piece of the nose cone here. Just like that. Turn it over. And then you're just going to bring these out, put the wheel to the inside, spin this around so that wheel's on the bottom. Sorry, I realize I'm not framing this right. Bring this out, put the wheel on the inside, and then put the wheel on the bottom here. And then you're going to... Now, at this point it says to put the wheels down like this, but as you can see, because these treads are on the side still, these can't click into place. So it's up to you. If you want to leave the treads like that and have the wings point down a little bit, I personally like to put the treads back on the side so that these can then click into place. And again, that's not what the directions tell you to do. It's just my personal preference, but I like to do it because then everything's a little bit more solid. You're going to come to the front here, open up this chest part, fold out the wings so you can get kind of some top wings for the jet here. And then this is your plane mode. Now, for whatever reason, this doesn't want to hold together the best. It still works. You can still use it as a plane here. Oh, actually, you should push these. Oops. Push these back in. I apologize. There we go. So again, I kind of wish this tabbed in somehow, and I kind of wish this held together a little bit better. But all in all, I still think it looks cool as a jet mode. It works. Now, what the directions tell you to do... Oh, I apologize. You're supposed to put... You can see the tab here in the slot hole there. Put the guns on the ends of the wings to complete the jet mode. What they tell you to do for the Titan Master is to lift this back up and then pop the head section out. And then you can let the Titan Master sit in here where the head was and close it back up. But then you have his head hanging out the back. I don't know. To me, that's kind of weird. I feel like they just needed somewhere to put the Titan Master in this mode, so that's what they lazily did. I'd rather keep the head in there and just, I don't know, have the Titan Master right on top or have him peg into one of the guns or something. That's just, again, my personal preference. If you'd like to put him inside there, you certainly can. If you want to have him just hanging off on the side with somebody else, you can. But this is the jet mode. I think it works. I think it looks pretty good for a jet mode. Obviously, I guess you could even still technically, you could put him in here. Yeah. So I'd have him ride in under there. That's what I'd do. But again, your personal preference. If you want to put him in there and have the head hang out the back, pretend the head's a thruster or something. It's all your imagination. However you like to play, that's what you should do. You don't have to conform to the directions just because that's what Hasbro suggests. But yeah, It's a cool little jet mode. I like it. Alright, so here is Laser Optimus Prime, and as you can see, he is almost completely covered in foil stickers. It says Optimus Prime here on the back, and has kind of a... It's really hard to see because the lights want to shine off the foil so much, but you can see there's kind of a caricature drawing of Optimus Prime firing a laser. And then way down in the bottom, you can see there's a G2 Autobot symbol. I'll show that off a little bit more during the transformation because it's a little bit easier to see. But other side is the same. So they did a really nice job. You kind of have the dark cab that bleeds into the red, which is very reminiscent of the paint job for G2 Laser Prime. Here is underneath. Not a whole lot of robot kibble, which I appreciate. You can open this up to put the Titan Master inside, and we'll take a quick look at the Titan Master. He is very gray, very kind of boring as far as coloring, and he's got a sky blue head. We'll see if we can get a little bit closer so you can see the detailing on the head. Kind of weird, not super Prime-like, but it's okay. I really like the sky blue Optimus head for the actual, when he transforms into his head. I think they did a nice job with that. Sky blue for the eyes as well, and a really nice silver metallic there for the faceplate. So it did a nice job painting the actual face, but the inside of the Titan Master is a little bland in my opinion. But he can fit right inside there. Close it up. Fits very nicely. Rolls very well. So pretty cool. Like I said, this is also my first experience with this mold, but I like it. I like the oil tanker mode. Very cool there. Transforming it first, we'll go into robot mode. Just because I feel like that's a little bit easier to do. You're going to start by detaching these sections here for the middle part of the tanker. And I kind of already feel like these foil stickers are starting to peel a little bit. It's kind of unfortunate. You can see these just rotate and then they'll just sit down here like this. Come around to this section. You can unpeg the legs, and then you can see there's kind of a groove here. The whole legs will slide forward into that position. So you want to do them together. I like to put finger behind each one and put my thumb here, and they'll clip forward like that. Next, you can rotate the kind of shin section out so that you can fold out the foot, because you just need clearance. And then you can rotate that right back. Do the same for the other one here. And I really do like the inclusion of the sky blue. I think it really pops against the black. I think that's really cool. Then you have these two wings, which are kind of in his crotch. And you're going to kind of bring these around. And they have to twist around. They're kind of pegged together, so you want to unpeg them. And the way they twist around is really crazy. There's so many swivel points. So you can see there's a swivel point here, there's a swivel point over here. And you just want to kind of fidget with them until you can kind of get them up into this configuration. Like that. And then you're going to kind of just fold them in, and they'll just kind of rest on his back. At this point, you can bring, let me tilt this up a little bit. You can bring these straight down, and you can bring this chest plate down, and there's your chest plate for Optimus. Now you can see there is a little tab. I'll try to get a little bit closer there. Little tab right here where my finger is, and that's going to go in that tab slot right there. So you just bring that down, and now you can see we're forming arms. Now at this point, it's up to you if you want to leave the arms like this, you can, but if you want a more G2 Prime feel, and I guess technically you have to get the wing out of the way for this, you can flip these up and then spin them around 180. Let me get the wing out of the way again. Spin that around, put the wings back on the back, and then this piece you're just going to kind of want to bring down, and it just kind of sits there. If you want to splay out the wings, you can. I don't really see what it adds, so I just kind of leave it. Unfortunately, it's just kind of kibble that hangs on the back. You can fold out the fists at this point and then rotate these around to get your elbow articulation. Come on now, fist. There we go. So at this point, you pretty much have the robot mode. All you need to do is bring in your Titan Master, transform him into a head, and pop him on. Mine's a little tight, but he gets on there. At this point, again, if you like that look, you can press in this blue piece here, and you can get the pylons on the side. I didn't think I would like the pylons at first, but they're kind of growing on me for G2 Laser Prime. I kind of like it. For accessories, he has this large glowing sword, which of course you can go ahead and slide right into his hand, or he has this kind of generic gun, which a Titan Master can sit right in here. You can hold that on his other hand. So there you go. He's got nice weaponry. He looks good. Definitely the same color scheme as the G2 Optimus Laser Prime. You can see these stickers here. Optimus Prime, and like I said, the foil stickers I feel like are already starting to peel. But they're definitely very indicative of the G2 version of this toy. So I'm glad they included them because it is very nostalgic. But I also feel like over time they're not going to last, which is kind of a bummer. But only time will tell. Articulation-wise, of course, you have the whole head can swivel back and forth with the pylons, as well as the little bit of, ball joint movement for the Titan Master. Arms can swivel, as well as another swivel here on the shoulder. You have a bicep swivel. You have 90 degrees at the elbow. You have this kind of out to the side and front to back, ratchet in the hip, thigh swivel, pretty much 90 degrees in the knee, and then a little bit of ankle just because of the transformation. But overall, great color scheme, great paint job. Stickers look fantastic. You have a little bit of plain kibble on his back. Not the best, but, overall, I think the mold will work. I'm sure when it's Octane, they will fold these wings out, because Octane had his wings out like that. So I'm sure he'll probably be something more like that. But for Prime, I definitely think you want to fold him in because he doesn't have them. And you really don't see him that much. It's kind of nice the way his arms are designed. And because they painted him gray like the rest, those wings kind of fold into the background. You don't really notice them. They're not very prominent. I mean, obviously from the back, but again, I don't think it looks bad. I definitely like this robot mode. I love the color scheme. The stickers are great. I just hope they hold up. But definitely a fantastic homage to G2 Laser Prime. Alright, so now we're going to transform into plane mode. You can start by folding the fists back up underneath, like that. Let's see, how do I want to do this next? I guess I'll try to get these wing pieces out of the way for now. I'm going to rotate these back around and close these back up and rotate this back around. Kind of back to the front of the cab section. And these will end up pretty much just staying where they are, which is kind of a bummer, but we'll get there in a moment. You're going to press the crotch pieces back to where they were originally. They can hang there for a moment. Slide these back, fold the feet back in, and then you're going to rotate them all the way up. So straighten out the legs there like that. You're going to come to here, and you're going to rotate out these giant front plane pieces. And then you have to make sure that and I'll try to get closer, you can see that there's like a little lip. See how this black tab here, and that kind of fits flush with the gray piece? So just make sure when you're rotating these around that you have it all set up so it's sitting flush. And then you're going to peg these together. Peg all the legs together just like that. And then I think pretty much, let me just make sure I have the wings. I think you have to fold the wings down, swivel this. Again, they swivel really strangely. No, that's not right. I'm sure I'm doing this wrong. Hold on. Do they just stay like this, maybe? No, that's definitely too far up. That's for that. This goes down here. I know that they come to rest. Alright, hold on one second. I'm going to take a quick look at this because this section always confuses me. Okay, sorry about that. I did have it correct. they're going to rest like this. So you're going to bring it around just like that. Then bring this, swivel it, and then you can see there's kind of a small indentation right here where my finger is on the oil tanker part, and it's going to rest right in there. So I was thinking that these pieces wouldn't be upside down like this, but they totally are. So that's good. At this point, you're just going to want to lift these up temporarily so that you can swing these pieces back. And then that will all peg together, and then you can put these back down. And then again, the sides of the cab from the tanker truck just kind of sit here. They don't really click in fantastically. And then this chest plate rotates back like this to cover up the headmaster section. Just like that. And then this kind of rotates down and these fold down. Like that. So, yeah, this is the plane mode. It really just looks like someone jammed a fuselage on the back of a tanker truck. I wish the wings were longer. I don't know. It's not great. I definitely like this mode the least. But luckily, if you're just in this toy for the G2 Laser Prime homage, you can just stick with the tanker truck mode, which is perfectly acceptable, and the robot mode, which is great, and just kind of pretend this third mode doesn't exist. I mean, maybe I'm being too tough on it. I mean, it's a plane, I guess. It's all right, but if you want to put the weapons on, you can just kind of peg them on wherever you find a peg hole. There's not really much going on. You can definitely peg them onto the front. For some reason, the directions show attaching it to the top somehow, but I'm not seeing how to do that. Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of a mess. You can still put the Titan Master in here if you like. Although now he'll kind of be... Well, I guess you can face him this way. Doesn't say he would be facing backwards, but no, you can still fit him in the other way. So, yeah, I think the robot mode is fantastic, and I think the tanker truck mode works. I'm not the biggest fan of this mode. Alright, so up next we have Nautica, which is a repaint/retool of the Blur mold. Taking a look quick at the Headmaster. As you can see, very plain, mostly purple with a little bit of pink, kind of a light whitish pink color there in the center. But when you transform, you have a really nicely painted head mold there, head sculpt for Nautica. I like that a lot. Really nicely painted and detailed there, so very, very cool. You can open up, oops, sorry about that. You can open this up and fit the Titan Master inside, just like with Blur. Close that up. Works very well. So taking that out, you can see that the gun can be stored underneath there, or you can go ahead and pop it off. Peg it into one of the side holes if you like. So you have a little bit of options there. I'm going to breeze through the transformation pretty quickly because it's pretty much exactly the same as Blur. So not a whole lot going on there. You're going to unpeg the hands from the side here and bring them down. Then you can pull this part down. Now at this point, if you want to pull this part completely off, you can. I'm just going to bring it down and let it rest on the back, because that's what I like to do. You can open up the legs here and then pull this whole section down like that. Split them apart, close them up, put the feet down. The joints on mine are pretty tight, which I guess is a good thing. Lift this up and tuck the seat back into the chest, and then close this. And then you can rotate these around. This part will fold onto the back of the forearm. Rotate this back. And then you can see we pretty much have the robot mode. All you have to do is transform your Titan Master and go ahead and plug her in. It's a little tight, but I will get it. Why is this giving me... There we go. It's like really giving me trouble there. So there you go. Here is Nautica in her robot mode. Go ahead and outfit her with her gun. I like this a lot. I really do. I think the color scheme is really, really cool. I like the kind of... It's kind of an orchid color. Well, I don't know. It's a lighter purple. Maybe it's a little bit darker than orchid. And then you have a real lightish white rose pink for the secondary color with some yellow and dark blue accents. It works. I think it really works. It's a good use of the mold. You have this piece on the back, or if you want, you can peg this. It just slides off these two big tabs here. If you want, you can put it here on the forearm, but these wings kind of get in the way, so it's a little bit harder to do. You could peg it in this way if you wanted. I just kind of like to leave it on the back. Again, it's just personal preference, but you have some play options there. But yeah, I like it a lot. I really do. And like I said, I think the paint job and the head sculpt is fantastic. Really nice detail here on the head. I like the big Autobot symbol on the chest there. All the same articulation that Blur has. You have the shoulder up and down like this, as well as front to back. You have a bicep swivel. You have 90 degrees in the elbow. Wrists rotate. Obviously, you have the ball joint for the headmaster. Typical ball joint here for the hip. Thigh swivel, 90 degrees in the knee. And then you just have a little bit of play here in the feet just because of the transformation. But yeah, all in all, I like this a lot. Like I said, I'm not really familiar with the character from the comics, but I like everything about this. Nice use of the mold, fantastic detail all the way around, but especially in the head sculpt. Love the paint job. All in all, I like this figure a lot. Alright, so here is the Legends class Fastclash, which I think he was Fastlane was his original G1 name, so I'm probably going to call him Fastlane at some point just by mistake, but officially he's Fastclash. If we have any G1 fans out there who remember the Autobot clones from late in the run of the Generation 1 toy line, this looks very, very similar and transforms pretty much exactly the same. You're going to flip the feet out. I believe in the original toy his legs were stuck together, but you can pull them apart. You're going to lift this piece straight up, rotate the head around 180 degrees. We'll zoom out a little bit. These arms will fold back just like the original toy, and then you can rotate this back. And then you're just going to fold out these fists. It's a very basic transformation, but it kind of works. It really feels like they just took the existing toy from G1 and added a bunch of extra articulation points, which is great. That's all I really need. I do hope we get the other one. The other one was a Jet, I believe. And I'm blanking on his name right now. If someone knows and would like to tell me in the comments below, please go ahead. I want to say Cloud Raker? Is that right? Cloud Raker and Fastlane? I think that's right. You can also see on his chest, they had symbols. He's the race car, and the other one wanted to have a jet. Nice Autobot sticker there. Love the head sculpt. Very G1-esque. Very reminiscent of the original toy. I think this is so fun. I loved these little Autobot clones. And it almost looks like that splits apart somehow. See that on the back? How there's a joint? There's a joint here and here. And this looks like that's going to flip out. But I'm not sure. I don't know. I'd be interested if when the other one comes out, maybe they combine somehow. That could be neat. I don't know. The directions definitely don't show anything about that. I'm going to double check them very quickly, because I just noticed those joint pieces there. Yeah, they definitely do not say anything. But that'll be interesting. I don't know what those are for. I wonder if this is going to be, you know what it is most likely, I just thought about this. When they do make the Cloud Raker, if that is right, version of this, they're probably going to use the same mold, change the sticker, and then, like, you know, just change the feet a little bit to include the wing pieces, and then these will probably splay out to the side and then become the wings. That's probably what it's going to be. They're probably going to laying the foundation for when they eventually release this as the other clone. So that would be pretty cool. I'm very excited for that. But like I said, I love this little figure. He's got a ball joint here in the shoulder, ball joint in the elbow, wrists only fold in and out for the transformation, ball joint in the hip, thigh swivel, 50 degrees, 90 degrees in the knee, and then you have some ankle play again for the transformation, and obviously the head spins around as part of the transformation. Now, if you want to get like a Go-Go Gadget helicopter situation going on there, you can totally do that. You know, you can fly around with his Go-Go Gadget helicopter. Otherwise, the head movement's kind of limited because of that, but you could always move it up a little bit, but it is what it is. I love this little guy. It's a very simplistic toy, very, very similar to the G1 version, just with all extra articulation points, which is exactly what I wanted. Real quick, transforming him back, sandwich the legs together. I wanted to show off something that the directions show, which, I don't know, kind of seems a little bit like an afterthought to me, but we'll see. It says you can, this chest piece here you can lift up and then transform it back into car mode, like this, and then it says a little Titan Master can ride around. I guess that just kind of makes like a seat for him, which kind of works. I think it actually works pretty well, actually, better than I thought it would. There's a little lip here as well, right here where my tip of my finger is, and that kind of, you can see the little divot as well for the foot of the Titan Master to sit into, and it actually does sit in there pretty well, so that's cool. The little Titan Master can ride around on this guy, but very, very neat. I love this mold. I can't wait for them to make the other one, which I assume they're going to, since we've just seen this extra joint set here in the back. So hopefully that means the other Autobot clones, that's what they were called, not twins, Autobot clones. Hopefully the other clone is coming that turns into the jet. Alright, and then here's Rodimus Prime. I apologize ahead of time if my lighting is a little messed up. You've seen him kind of throughout the video so far, me showing him off. Really nicely painted. I thought somebody said he was die-cast metal, and I'm wondering if this black section here is. It doesn't feel super heavy, but he definitely has some weight to him, so it's very possible that it is. But really nice paint here on the chest. The feet look nice when you transform him into a headmaster. Really nice paint and detail there as well. Now, real quick, just to do a comparison, here's the headmaster that comes with the Hot Rod figure. So I'm not sure if it's 100% the same mold. I kind of think it's not. But when you look at the Headmaster version, obviously that part is similar. But definitely not 100% the same either, because you can see the crest on his head is different. And his face is a little different as well. So it might be a brand new mold. And then just for fun, and I apologize again for my lights, I thought I would pop this guy onto the Hot Rod figure, just so you could get a look at what this might look like. Why am I having so much trouble getting these Titan Masters on today? There we go. So I think it looks good. It doesn't look a whole lot different. It's just obviously a little bit more nicely painted. I don't know if they're planning on doing a Rodimus Prime figure later on. I'm guessing they're not. And that's why they're giving us this Titan Master. That way if you want to pop him onto this guy and get kind of a more Rodimus Prime look, you can. But yeah, overall, I think it's a nice little Titan Master. It definitely looks nicely painted. And I appreciate the job they did in the Titan Master mode especially. And I do think this is, the more I handle it, the more I do think this is die-cast metal. Because it's very... it's definitely heavy. It's got weight to it. So very cool little Titan Master. I'm glad they included him. I think this is an absolutely fantastic set. I apologize for the length of the review, but there was a lot of ground to cover here. I mean, he's got 3 modes, he's got 6 modes. Once you get to these guys, it's a little bit more straightforward, but they're all fantastic figures. Like I said, this was my first, outing with these 2 molds. I had not had them before, but these are great representations. I still think I would pick up Six Shot, just because he's an iconic character and the paint job on him and everything else is excellent. But Quick Switch is fantastic in his own right. Great color scheme. Love the sculpt on the Titan Master for the face. Everything about him is great. The G2 Laser Prime homage with this mold is also fantastic. The remold of Blur into Nautica is really well done, and a fantastic head sculpt there and the color scheme. I love the little Fast Crash or Fast Lane, whatever you'd like to call him. And then the little Rodimus Prime, just kind of tossed in as well. But it's nice. It's a nice little figure. It might be die-cast metal for those legs because there's definitely a weight to them. Extremely well done with the paint scheme on him. And the face for when you transform him into a Titan Master. I don't have anything to complain about with this set. I really don't. Like I said, the only thing the plane mode on the Prime toy, but that's not really the problem with this set because that toy already exists and already had those problems. But like I said, if you're just in it for the G2 Laser Prime homage, just don't worry about that mode. Stick to the tanker mode and the robot mode, both of which are perfect. Color schemes are perfect. Screams G2 with all those like holofoil stickers. That's great. That's the only thing I could complain about is the plain mode on Optimus, and you could even just ignore it because you don't need it because this set has enough with everything else to completely justify its purchase. Yes, it is $100, but if you think about it, these usually go for $45. These are usually $25, so already that's $70. You figure 10 to 15 for him, $85, 10 for him, $95, 5 for that. That's your $100. So there you go. The price is really just the individual prices of these releases. So if you could find it on sale or something at Toys R Us, so much the better. I definitely think it's worth $100 because you're definitely getting 5 excellent figures, and the prices are not inflated. It's just what you would pay for them if they were separate releases. So I don't think you're getting ripped off in any way, certainly. Plus, you kind of get the nice little poster that has the tech specs and stuff on the back. You have the nice little card that it comes with. So that, it comes in a nice box. Like I said, I really don't think the price is inflated at all. I think it's just what you would normally pay for these releases individually, and they just bundle them together for you. Yes, if you could buy them individually, you could pick and choose. I understand that, but I think it's a great set. I think all these figures are fantastic, and I think you should have all of them in your collection because they're all a lot of fun. Great color schemes, great head sculpts, great paint jobs, great molds. I just can't gush enough. It's a great set. So if you can find it at your local Toys R Us, I highly recommend picking it up. If you can get it on sale, so much the better. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like and share this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this look at the Chaos on Velocitron box set for Transformers Titans Return. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching.